Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Froslass. Yes, Froslass in the Open Great League. I've never really tried Froslass in the Open Great League. We all know by now Froslass is an absolute beast and a monster in the specialty cups like the Halloween Cup or the Holiday Cup. It is absolutely amazing for the specialty cups, but I've never tried it in the Open Great League, so I figured why not give it a shot? Why not test it out and see how it does in an open format where there are no limitations? And it did very well, as expected. Froslass is amazing, and it's such a powerful Pokemon. But with Froslass in the Open Great League, you gotta have some coverage for those Shadow Claw users like Sableye, like Trevenant, Cofagrigus, you name it. And nothing shuts down a strong ghost type with Shadow Claw better than a Lickitung, guys. So we are running Lickitung on the safe swap. Lickitung is meant to draw out those fighters that might be in the back, like Medicham, most notably Medicham and Deoxys, because Lickitung can actually do very well up against those two in particular, but any other fighter for that matter, because Lickitung is bulky enough to hang in there and really put up a fight. And once the fighter's out of the way, good old Diggersby doesn't have to see it. You want to get the fighter out of the way so that Diggersby can close the game strong. We are running a double normal backline, a very thick and tanky double normal backline behind Froslass on this team. I wanted to run Diggersby again as we just had Easter. You know, why not run a bunny, just coming off of the Easter holiday here in the United States and elsewhere. So we're running Diggersby as well to close the game strong. I had a blast with this team. This team was tons of fun, and it did extremely well. If you don't have a Lickitung, you can use Greedent or Munchlax works well. I know a lot of you may not have an XL Lickitung, so yeah, Greedent has a very similar stat product to Lickitung. And here we go, terrible lead right off the bat. We got a Bastiodon on the lead. We go into Lickitung. This is why we have Lickitung on the safe swap to draw out those Medichams lurking behind all of those Bastiodon leads. So this is actually a very close matchup. Some of you may be familiar with it from the Love Cup. Lickitung, although having the type disadvantage, is bulky enough and is able to get to these body slams with stab fast enough to really put up a strong fight against Medicham. So much so that we draw a shield. That is amazing. Lickitung is so nice. So we're just going to let our Lickitung go down, look to come back in with Froslass here. And we make a slight misplay here. We shielded up the first power-up punch, where you really don't want to be shielding up the first one, as we all know. Rookie mistake right there, guys. You always want to shield up the following power-up punches, as the following ones are gonna hit a little harder. But we don't want to go down on shields completely, so we're gonna let it go through. It is resisted, of course. Single resisted because we do have a ice subtyping, but they come back in with that Bastiodon, so we are just gonna let her rip with all of the loaded energy that we farmed off of the Medicham. We had nearly back-to-back Shadow Balls. We're just gonna lower the health on this Bastiodon and look to make a play into our Diggersby, fully expecting a Sableye in the back, but no, it's a Venusaur running Razor Leaf. You don't see that every day. At the time, I didn't notice. We're going to go for this Earthquake and see what they want to do. They let it go. That is amazing. That is what we needed to give ourselves a shot. And at the time, I did not realize it was Razor Leaf. I was like, why are these Vine Whips doing so much damage? It turns out it was Razor Leaf. Of course, Razor Leaf does not generate energy very fast, so they are only getting the one Frenzy Plant. We have back-to-back Fire Punches, so we're going to get rid of the Venusaur, and all they have left is that low health Bastiodon. It is up a shield, so that can make things a little bit more complicated, but we grabbed the shield there with a Fire Punch. We were off on our counts. We threw Froslass in to catch, but it's a good thing that they threw here because I think that sealed the deal for us. They might have underestimated the power of Diggersby. They might have thought that they could farm it down, but no, Diggersby hangs on. We get to that fire punch, and that is all we needed to send that Bastiodon packing. That is going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. Diggersby closing the show. I wanted to run it again. As many of you, all of you may know, Diggersby can be quite difficult to team build around. So I wanted to challenge myself and give it another shot on a different team here. And here we go. Another terrible lead. Talonflame. We go into our Lickitung safe swap and they meet us with a Venusaur. So this is quite all right. We can absolutely tank a Frenzy Plant, no problem here up against the Venusaur, and we plan to. We kind of want to see if they're going to shield or leave us with low health so that they can farm with Talonflame here. So we're going to just go for these body slams just as fast as we get to them. And they do have stab. That is the beauty of Lickitung. And just so that you guys know, that is a legacy move. So you definitely need to have an Elite TM to get that, but that is okay. Okay, so we let our Lickitung go down, and that worked out well. That's okay. We needed a little extra farm. We needed a slight energy advantage on this Talonflame to get to this Avalanche. It will hit for neutral, but it hits for a lot of neutral because Froslass hits like a truck, and they let it go. My goodness, and they've got a Stunfisk left in the back. This is looking quite nice for us. I'm going to go straight for this Earthquake right off the bat. A lot of people would bait right here, but we're not baiting. We're going straight for that hard-hitting Earthquake, and they let that go. Not sure why, because their Talonflame is quite low, but they might have thought that we were baiting. A lot of Diggersby players like to bait for some reason on this Pokemon. It seems, people love baiting with it, but sometimes it pays to not go for that bait, and we say bye-bye Stunfisk, and now all we have left is that low health Talonflame. We are up a shield, and this is looking pretty good for us. All we need to do is get to a Fire Punch. Gonna build up to back, and we are going to start shielding here as this Talonflame is really revving up that Incinerate damage with those flame charges. We do get to the back here. This first one absolutely has to get the shield if they want to try and win this, but it is not looking good for them. We've got back locked and loaded for this flaming bird of terror. We say bye-bye Talonflame. And Diggersby coming in clutch yet again, closing another game in dominant fashion. You'd love to see it. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. Diggersby was proven to be quite the closer on this team. I must say, guys, this thing, Diggersby is amazing. Such a fun Pokemon, and Froslass is amazing as well. And we are met with a Shadow Politoed. This is not a good lead because they do resist our fast move pressure. So we're going to go into Lickitung and see what they want to do. We get some lag here, and we get another lag spike. I hope that it's because they're fixing things. We are getting down to the wire on the interlude season where they promised us some changes, so we will see. But they come back in with they finally swap out into a Talonflame, so this is okay. We would much rather have this Talonflame on our Lickitung than on our Froslass. That is for sure. We did have an energy advantage, so we are going to just go for these body slams just as fast as we can. And because they weren't shielding these body slams, we are actually going to shield our tank Lickitung and look to farm the Talonflame all the way down. They are not making it to another flame charge. That is amazing. So it's good to get that out of the way. That way it doesn't have to cause any problems for our remaining two Pokemon. And of course, Politoed is just as spammy as a Pokemon can possibly get. So they get to a Weather Ball, take us out. We go down with loaded energy. That's okay. We're going to come in here with Froslass. We are even on shields. We can definitely tank a Weather Ball. Not a big deal. It's not how hard it hits, although Shadow Politoed does obviously hit harder than the normal version. It's the spamminess and the pacing of Politoed that poses quite the problem. They shielded up our Avalanche. That would have done quite a bit of resisted damage. Froslass hits super hard. And we shielded up the Weather Ball, trying to get to another Avalanche, but it was not going to happen. Politoed just too spammy. We go down, and it is all left up to Diggersby to try and make something happen here, guys. Oh, we've got a monster here in front of us that can hit us with super effective damage. Can we pull this out? We just need to get rid of this thing with an Earthquake. The Fire Punch obviously would not do the trick. Had to go for the Earthquake. And now we are going to see what they have left in the back. It's a Unova Stunfisk. This might be doable. We might be able to do this, guys. I'm thinking Earthquake plus Fire Punch might just seal the deal for us. The question is, are we tanky enough to tank a couple of Mud Bombs and hang in here to get to the Fire Punch to seal the deal? I think we are. That didn't do enough. That's not going to cut it, guys. We get to this Fire Punch, and this is absolutely going to be taking out this Unova Stunfisk. Holy smokes. Diggersby! That's 3 in a row, closing the game strong. Diggersby is a monster. You just got to have the right team around it. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. Telling you guys, this team was just working for me during these battles, and it was tons of fun. Froslass is very fun in the Open Great League. I had a blast with it, and here we go. Trevenant lead, very tricky lead. Of course, we both do super effective fast move pressure to each other, but we have 2 amazing answers to Trevenant in the back. So we go into Lickitung, and they meet us with a Lycanroc, Midnight Form Lycanroc. And so it kind of really honestly threw me completely off of my game. I knew that it ran counter, but for some reason that wasn't registering. And this thing was just going off on us. So they take us out with a Stone Edge. Lycanroc hits like a truck. So we come in with Diggersby. This is where we messed up big time. We should have come in with Froslass. And of course they're going to rev up their counter damage with these Psychic Fangs. Should have come in with Froslass because it was running counter, but in my mind I was thinking Rock Throw, which it can also run. It can also run Rock Throw as well. So yeah, Lycanroc completely threw us off our game, completely, and these Fire Punches are not doing nearly as much damage as I thought they would. I knew they were resisted, but I knew that it was also on the squishier side, and maybe a Fire Punch would do the trick, but no, it didn't. It didn't take it out. So we aggressively go back into our Froslass, and they meet us with the Trevenant. It is not looking good. Lycanroc put in some work on our team, and it is not looking good for us. So gonna try and get rid of the Trevenant with a Avalanche, and they let it go. That's good, but they've got a Zweilous in the back. Hats off to our team to our opponent, excuse me, for running a fun team. It seems to be rare in the interlude season here. I don't even mind losing to this team. This is a fun team that our opponent is running. Hats off to them for having some fun in the interlude season. I appreciate that big time. But yeah, it was just not our day in this battle. They just ran right through us. They ran circles around us. Good game to them. Very well played. I can't even be mad at that. They're running Lycanroc and Zweilous behind Trevenant. You love to see it. Can't even be mad at that. I had a blast in that battle. That was a fun battle. Had fun with this team. It was doing amazing. That's the end of set number 1. We've got more coming right up. This team was amazing, guys. And again, if you don't have XL Lickitung, definitely you can go with Greedent or Munchlax. Those are 2 excellent replacements for XL Lickitung. And here we go. Terrible lead. Yet again, we got Galarian Stunfisk. Going to go into Lickitung and see what they want to do here. Lickitung can actually do very well up against G-Fisk in the Great League. You go for the Power Whips, and they really start to add up, as a lot of Stunfisk don't like to shield, knowing that they are very tanky. And they look to chip us with a Earthquake. They do still have some energy left as they make a play into Alolan Almost said Alolan Froslass. Alolan Ninetales running Powder Snow here. So this is not looking great for our Diggersby. We kind of want to get rid of this thing here. We want to maintain Switch with our Lickitung, and we want to get rid of this Alolan Ninetales because we know that Diggersby can function very well when shields are down, especially up against a Galarian Stunfisk. So we are fine to play that with the 2-shield scenario. We know that this Alolan Ninetales is getting extremely low here. They did get to another Weather Ball. Alolan Ninetales with Powder Snow is extremely spammy, but we went down on shields to maintain our switch advantage because we don't want that Stunfisk anywhere near our Froslass, and this battler has excellent premium timing, perfect timing. They knew the counts on Lick, and they threw with perfect timing just as we were getting to the Power Whip. But that is okay, guys. We have the perfect answer for Galarian Stunfisk on our team with Diggersby. They can throw all the Earthquakes they want. It's not going to make a difference. We tank those all day. Not a problem for us. We're just going to overload on energy and look to go for a Fire Punch. Even if they no shield this, it's not going to KO, but it's going to do quite a bit of super effective damage. And they make an aggressive play into a Trevenant. Okay, they are still up a shield. They are holding on to that shield, it seems, for the Trevenant. So we're going to go straight Fire Punch. We are double resisting this fast move pressure, and we had loaded energy. We had the energy advantage. We are just going for these fire, and they're not shielding. That is insane. So we're going to snipe with our Froslass. The poor Trevenant didn't even get off a move, and now the play here is to just farm down. Don't even throw a charge attack. They are holding on to that last shield for next season. Apparently, they're not looking to give up that last shield, and they're going to go down with a shield. Plain and simple, because we don't intend on throwing a charge move. They can hold on to that shield all they want while we hold on to the victory as Diggersby farms down the Stunfisk, closing the game strong yet again. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. I really debated on what moves I should run on Froslass. Of course, you always go Avalanche, but I thought about Crunch, but then realized, yeah, if I'm met up against an Azumarill, that's no good. So Shadow Ball, I think, is the way to go. As we are met with another awful lead. The leads were just awful for us in these battles. We had a Talonflame on the lead. So we go into Lickitung, and they meet us with a Toxicroak. So this is why we have Lickitung on the safe swap to draw out these strong fighters like Toxicroak. Lickitung doing its job beautifully, drawing out the fighter here. So we are going to look to just play this out. Go straight Body Slam on the Toxicroak. Of course, we are so thick and bulky that we are able to hang in here and actually pressure shields on the fighters despite the type disadvantage. That is the power of Lickitung. It is amazing. So they took us out. That's okay. We're going to tank the Mud Bomb and look to farm down and get ahead on energy because we really want to threaten this Talonflame with a potential Avalanche, which absolutely hits like a truck. Even though it only hits for neutral damage, if they let this go, this is going to do a lot of damage, but they shield. So they are now down on shields, and it is Diggersby time, guys. I'm thinking Diggersby up 2 shields can do amazing things in the Great League. Let's find out if I'm right. They go for the first Flame Charge. Not going to shield the first one, but we are going to start shielding up the following flame charges, as each flame charge will do more and more damage as they go. So we get to an Earthquake. That is the play for Talonflame. You go for the Earthquake. It is single resisted and it does tons of damage with Stab. That did quite a bit of resisted damage. It's getting really low. Diggersby is putting in the work, guys. Going to go for a Fire Punch and really chip away at the health on this Talonflame. So we're thinking maybe we can farm this thing down. We're going to shield up the next Flame Charge, and we're trying to go for a hard farm, and they've got a Nidoqueen in the back. Oh my goodness. Diggersby is going to feast on this overpowered poison type known as Nidoqueen. Bye-bye, Nidoqueen. And we knew that we could farm down the Talonflame before the Incinerate registered, taking it out with the Powder Snows. That battle was insane. Diggersby really carried the team and put in the work. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. I gotta say, although Froslass is featured on the thumbnail in this video, Diggersby really stole the show in a lot of these battles. Not gonna lie, guys, but my goodness, Froslass did its part as well. And here we go, another awful lead. Can we get a good lead? I don't know, guys, but it is not happening for us in these battles thus far. We were met with a Stunfisk, so we tried something a little different. We tried to catch just as we were getting to the avalanche, as a lot of battlers are quite savvy and they will look to throw on the CMP so that you can't catch. But this battler kept farming and they hit us with an earthquake. We tanked an earthquake and we are still going strong. They meet us with a charm, Alolan Ninetales. Gonna go for the first body slam. And we did have back-to-back. We are going to go for the second one right away. We don't want to take any more charm damage. We draw a shield. That is amazing. That is amazing. We kind of want to get rid of this charm Alolan Ninetales as well, because it is bad news for our Froslass, because they resist our damage while melting us away with charm. And we got rid of the Alolan Ninetales with our Lickitung, guys. That is insane. We flipped switch advantage, and they met us with a Medicham, so we're coming back in with our Froslass, of course. And they aggressively go back into their Stunfisk, switch locking themselves. My goodness, guys. So many battlers I've noticed as of late don't seem to mind locking themselves in, not knowing what you have in the back. Bad idea, I think, guys. So we are coming in with Diggersby onto the Stunfisk. Of course, we tanked the Earthquake. Gonna tank this. This is not another Earthquake. They only did 6 mud shots. So we are free to overload on energy. We are maxed out. Gonna get rid of the Stunfisk with an Earthquake. See you later, Stunfisk. And we now have some residual energy to really threaten this Medicham. Diggersby is putting in the work. It is insane, guys. Gonna go for an Earthquake on the Medicham. That does quite a bit. Medicham is pretty bulky, but can we hang on long enough to get to a Fire Punch? That is insane. Holy smokes. Diggersby is a monster, guys. We got this Medicham into the red with our Diggersby. We have not yet used the shield. We come in with Froslass to seal the deal. We had some energy, and we just needed a couple of Powder Snows to send the Medicham packing with an avalanche. Didn't even need a shield for that one. That's how strong this team was. My goodness, good game. Well played to our opponent. What a run with this Froslass team, guys. Not only was it so much fun, but it proved to be quite dominant as well. It was insane. This team was just working for me, guys. And we are met with a Shadow Nidoqueen. Finally, a solid lead for us, guys. That is amazing. It only took about 7 battles, but that is okay. They swap into a Shadow Walrein, so we come in with our Lickitung to really weaken this Walrein. We don't care if we lose. We just really want to chunk some health on this Walrein. We know that it is super spammy. The Shadow does hit quite a bit harder than the normal version. So we are fine just going straight body slam. We did build up to the Power Whip just to see if we could maybe get a shield, but they are not interested in shielding. That is okay. Gonna try and get to another body slam, but we can't. We're not going to expend any shields. We're going to remain even on shields, come back in with our Froslass, and look to load up on energy. Even at this health range, we cannot farm down the Walrein, so at some point we are going to have to throw some energy, as they do double resist our fast mid pressure. So we're just going to overload a little bit and look to throw on the CMP here. We don't want to get hit by another resisted Icicle Spear, because we don't know what else they have in the back. We know that they have a Nidoqueen. We're not sure what else they have. It is a XL Alolan Sandshrew. Holy smokes. I love it. Nidoqueen double ice with a Alolan Sandshrew in the back. Shouts to them. My goodness, what a fun team. I love it, guys. This is quite nice to see. Of course, Alolan Sandshrew has access to Night Slash, which would hit us for super effective. What we really need to do is grab some health from this Alolan Sandshrew. If we can get this relatively low, like we did there with a Shadow Ball, they let that go through. That's what we needed. We needed to get it low so that Diggersby would have a much better time, and we stayed in. We didn't swap immediately. We stayed in to force them to throw some energy. Now we are free to come in with Diggersby. They come back in with the Nidoqueen. That Alolan Sandshrew is very low, and they came in with this Nidoqueen, guys. A lot of people would bait right here, but we're not baiting, and we're saying bye-bye Nidoqueen, courtesy of a massively super effective Earthquake, and now it is just about lights out for them. We knew that this Alolan Sandshrew had loaded energy, and oh, that's an amazing shield. We shielded up the Blizzard as we mudshot down the Steel Ice type Alolan Sandshrew. Holy smokes, what a game. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. Shouts to our last opponent for running Alolan Sandshrew in the Open Great League. Shouts to them for running a fun pick in the interlude season of Pokemon Go Battle League. And here we go, picking up a solid lead with Venusaur. This is a great lead for us, and they make a play in the Talonflame. Okay, so what we're going to do is try to either grab a shield or grab a lot of health with an Avalanche before making a play. In the Lickitung, they let that go. That is insane. So now what we can do is farm the Talonflame all the way down because they let that Avalanche through. We're going to tank all this damage. We don't care about what they're throwing at us. They can throw whatever they want. We tank damage all day, not a problem. Just a couple of flame charges, that is quite all right. We now have loaded energy, and we have successfully flipped switch advantage with our Lickitung. You love to see it. And they come back in with the Venusaur. We've got a Body Slam locked and loaded for the Venusaur. We're going to look to just chip some health from the Venusaur. We're going to try our very best to get to another Body Slam if we can, and we do. They're trying to farm us down, guys, but we are just too thick for that. We get to another Body Slam, and they let that go. That is amazing. This is easy farm down range for our Froslass. All we have to do is shield up the hard-hitting Frenzy Plant. Of course, that would do tons of damage. And we're going to look to farm this thing down. But no, they're not going to let that happen. They make a play into a Shadow Skarmory. Very interesting. So we're just going to try and either, again, grab some health or grab a shield. We grab the shield. That is amazing. Going to try and get to another Avalanche, but no, they want to throw energy. They're not looking to overfarm. That is okay. We're going to let it go down and put our hope and faith into Diggersby. We have access to Fire Punch for the steel types like Skarmory. And, of course, Diggersby has been closing the game in dominant fashion for us thus far. Let's see if we can do it yet again with our Diggersby. This is not a Brave Bird, guys. They did not build up to Brave Bird. We're tanking this all day, not a problem. They only did 6 air slashes. It takes 7 to get to a Brave Bird. They tried to catch. No. We are not wasting our energy. We expected them to try and do something like this. So what we're going to do is shield up the Frenzy Plant, of course, and farm down the Venusaur. Guys, it was just about over before they tried catching. Now it is absolutely over because we have back-to-back Fire Punches. One gets the shield, and one will be sending the Shadow Skarmory packing. And that is going to seal the deal for us. We say bye-bye, Skarmory. Diggersby, holy smokes. Closing yet another game, guys. My goodness, what a closer, huh? Who knew? Diggersby closing the game strong. That is the team. Good game, well played to our opponent. And there you have it, guys. How about that? 5-0 with Froslass in the Open Great League. You don't get much better than that. That was insane, guys. My goodness. Fun team. Fun team. Good enough for a 5-0 set in the Great League. Did very well overall with this team. This was, of course, the best set that we had with it. And I had a blast with it. Froslass was fun in the Open Great League. Like I said at the beginning, we all know Froslass is an absolute monster in the specialty cups, like the Halloween Cup and the Holiday Cup. But I had never run it, and I've never ran it, really, in the Open Great League. So I wanted to give it a shot and see if it had some play. And it does, obviously. It does. It did very well, and it is tons of fun to use. Obviously, Froslass hits super hard, but we really wanted to cover its weaknesses, primarily Shadow Claw users like Sableye or Trevenant, maybe even Cofagrigus. Any Shadow Claw user Froslass is going to struggle against. So I thought to pair it with 2 very strong normal types in the back. I think that was the key to success with Froslass. covering those Shadow Claw users with two very bulky and thick normal types like Lickitung and Diggersby. We ran Lickitung on the safe swap. Again, guys, if you don't have a Lickitung and you want to maybe run this team, you can go with a Greedent. Greedent has a very, very similar stat product to Lickitung. It is very close, very similar. That's the number one option. You could also go with Munchlax. Munchlax, I would say, is the second best replacement for a Lickitung if you don't have one. I had a blast, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to give the video a like, as that really is the best way to really help the channel out. Hit that like button, guys. Let YouTube know that you like the content. That way, YouTube will know to recommend the video to others who may also like the content. And that is the best way to really help the channel out. But guys, I had a blast. Again, I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.